just to clarify, is your offseason goal to stay a Giant? Do you want to still be the quarterback of the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I've really enjoyed playing here. You know, I appreciate all those guys in the locker room. It's a special group of guys, and I've really enjoyed being a part of it. So we'll figure out where that goes, but I have nothing but love and respect for this organization and the group of guys in the locker room.
Already 5 years in as the Giants. No, 4 years. 4 years. I can't. No, they didn't. No, it's only 4 years. It's not 5. That's the problem. They didn't pick up the fifth-year option. It will be year 5 if he stays with the team. He's in a good spot. He's in a good spot. They made that assessment last year to not pick up the option. They took their time right up until the deadline, and I still think they were betting on the fact that Jones wasn't going to be great, that they were more comfortable taking that bet than committing to 1 year in 2023, a fully guaranteed fifth-year option, which would have been, I think, somewhere around $25 million, $25 to $30 million, something like that, which will look like a bargain, I think, in comparison to the contract he gets, whether it's from the Giants or someone else, Chris. But that's the reality right now. Jones had a contract year, and he made the most of it, and that makes him plenty of money from the Giants or from someone else.
Yes, the Giants. He's going to be the Giants quarterback. There's no way he's getting out of New York. Brian Daboll loves him. You could see that. The organization, as we've discussed, that they've wanted to work. I think they did the right thing by not, committing with the fifth-year option. And as we've talked about before, he's finally established himself here. He's in a spot with great support that wants him and likes him, and he seems to like them to where it's not easy, just to go somewhere else and say, oh, okay. And I think the Giants will pay him, handsomely, within protecting themselves. But this is one where, I don't want to say guarantee, but I just would be shocked if Daniel Jones is not back as the starting quarterback of the New York Giants. I'd be shocked if we don't hear a contract being done and finished here sometime within the next month. If you're the Giants, you knew he was the starting quarterback for your 2023 football team, a month ago, more than a month ago, with the way he played, with the surrounding cast and everything there. So I think we're in it with Daniel Jones for the next few years, and as a Giants fans, I'm very happy about that.
And the Giants hold exclusive negotiating rights until free agency opens. But again, once we get to the scouting combine, just a couple of weeks after the Super Bowl, it's open season, and he'll know other teams are interested, and he'll know which ones. And they may already begin to have an idea in the event he doesn't stay with the Giants. Here's Joe Schoen, who did a great job in his first year as the general manager of the New York Giants, on the question of whether or not his team will be re-signing Daniel Jones.
We'd like Daniel to be here. Again, he said it yesterday. There's a business side to it, but we feel like Daniel played well this season. He's done everything that we asked him to do, and again, there's a business side to it. We haven't went down that road yet. We still got to have our meetings with our staff late in the week, and we'll devise an off-season plan. But we haven't had those meetings yet, but we would like to have Daniel Jones back.
When did you make the decision, both of you guys, this guy is our guy to move forward with?
Yeah, I don't know if there was necessarily an aha moment or anything like that. We've just continued to evaluate him throughout the season and, what the coaches were asking him to do. And, he was executing the game plans. And Dave's and I communicate on a daily basis, not just Dave's and I, but the offensive staff and what they're asking him to do. And he continued to prove out throughout the season. So I don't know the exact date or time when we're like, Daniel's our guy, but we're pleased with how we played this season.
If they have to use the franchise tag, it's projected to be in the neighborhood of $32 million. That would give them the right to match an offer sheet, and if they don't match, they'd get 2 first-round picks. Daniel Jones isn't in the category that someone is going to give up 2 first-round picks. I don't think they have to worry about that.
Right.
If they apply the franchise tag, he'll be with the Giants next year at $31.7 million, unless they extend the contract. Remember that window every year, July 15. That is the point at which you cannot sign a franchise tag player to a multi-year deal. So I tend to think that they will get something worked out, something that is fair to both sides, and something that pays. And here's the thing we always need to remember. the salary cap keeps going up and up and up and up. So we get caught up in the numbers. Oh, that guy's making $25 million for 1 year of football. Well, yeah, but the salary cap is going to be $220 million or more this year. The owners, for every dollar the players are getting, the owners are getting a dollar as well. There's money everywhere. We focus on the specific salaries being paid to specific players, but yes, the business is booming, as a wise man once said. So everybody is making money and more of it. So Daniel Jones, Chris, I'm with you. I think he's going to get signed, and it's probably going to be a contract that people are going to be like, whoa, hey, Daniel Jones.
Agreed.
Can you loan me some money?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be eye-popping a little bit. But like you said, it's just the current rate, and we got to get adjusted to that. And I could see a 4-year deal with some big guarantees that they can get out of after 2 years if it kind of went the wrong way, and they wouldn't have a huge, cap hit. That's kind of how I would imagine it. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, to me, the play with the Giants is, I think, going to be Daniel Jones, get the long-term deal done. We both know we like each other, and again, this is Daboll from New England and Buffalo before that. I think he wants to frame his team around his quarterback like we've talked about a lot before. And then they're going to franchise Saquon Barkley and work on that deal. That would be how I think it's going to shake out. We'll see where it goes. But I think the Barkley deal is the one that's actually going to be harder to figure out and deal with because it's a running back. It is only a year removed from an ACL injury. Yes, he was awesome this year, but damn, we're getting to year 5, and as we all know, that's when it's can be dicey for running backs, and things can start go the wrong direction.
The other reality too, I completely lost my train of thought.
Damn, look at you.
Odd?
That's
never
all right.
happens to me.
I know it happens.
I just
every
completely
now and
lost
then.
it. I'm directing traffic. I'm directing traffic for things that I plan to write after the show, and
Right.
I completely lost my train of thought. Anyway,
Yep.
anyway, Daniel Jones will get paid. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I knew if I talked long enough, it would come back to me. Contracts in the NFL, anyway, long-term veteran contracts.
That's right.
Are 2 or 3 year propositions at
Period.
best. That's why the
Right.
Deshaun Watson deal was such an outlier. To commit for 5 years where the team can't get out of it. That's always one of the first things I look at when it's time to assess a contract. How many years until the team can walk? Is it after 1? Is it after 2? Is it after 3? Most of them, at the latest, it's after 3. And like you said, the structure, we're getting toward that time of the year. The structure is so critical. ESPN dusted off through a different personality the notion that Lamar Jackson was offered $133 million fully guaranteed by the Ravens and rejected it. And it had been long enough. Ryan Clark's the one that mentioned it earlier or recently. Chris Mortensen on the first day of the regular season said the same damn thing. And everybody acted like it was news because I guess we all are unable to Google or search. Like, shouldn't people who cover football have... Boy, I remember hearing something about Lamar Jackson turning down an offer. There were details out there about Lamar. Let me just look them up and see what they were. Oh, look at that. It's the same damn number. Why is this news? Why is this news? I mean, I don't know what wires are getting crossed within ESPN where they got one of their people breaking news that was broken 4 months ago. $133 million, fully guaranteed. Lamar Jackson walked away from it. But you know what? At the end of the day, Chris, it doesn't tell us jack diddly squat.
Not really.
About the value of the deal.
Right.
It doesn't, because here's one thing it doesn't tell us. There's one key element out there, and then we'll take a break. I think we got to take a break. But I want people to understand how this works. Fully guaranteed at signing is critical. Very critical. Because that's the only guarantee you have. And actually, the signing bonus is the most important aspect of that, because once you have that money, good luck having them turn off the faucet. So beyond signing bonus, everything, the moment you put your name on the paper, whatever you are fully guaranteed to get, that's the most important metric. But there's another one, and that is how much of the future guarantees, the injury guarantees, how much of those become fully guaranteed after 1 year, March of the following year, because they aren't going to cut you after March of the following year if they fully guaranteed $133 million right out of the gates. That is the most important factor that we don't know about, because it hasn't been leaked. Because my sense is whoever's leaking it to make the Ravens look bad and Lamar Jackson look good is deliberately leaving that out. Because if you knew what would have vested the next March and been practically guaranteed, that's what they call it, the practical guarantee is X, then all of a sudden the deal looks better.
Yeah,
then
right.
all of a sudden it looks like something maybe
Right.
Lamar Jackson should have taken.
Right.
Maybe he shouldn't have turned up his nose at it and said, I want 5 years fully guaranteed. That's the gamble he's taken. That's the bet he made on himself. And I thought it was so funny, Chris, and I'm sorry to pivot over to this because it's relevant because he's another guy that's available. Daniel Jones is available. A lot of quarterbacks are going to be available. After 3 weeks of the regular season, everybody said, hey, Lamar Jackson bet on himself and it paid off. It's like, no, folks. The bet doesn't pay off until after the 2024 season if he's doing the Kirk Cousins bet.
Right.
After 3 games of the regular season, the Ravens are going to say, boy, we screwed that up. Here's your Deshaun Watson contract. There's no reason to. So anyway, bottom line is 2 years or 3 years is what you're looking at on any of these long-term deals, unless you can get yourself a Deshaun Watson contract, and I doubt that anybody else will. So if Daniel Jones gets a big deal and the Giants can get after 2 years, that's not all that unusual as it relates to other contracts. So, and you got to keep, look, it's like any other sport. You got to keep performing or you're going to be gone.
Yeah, that's what makes
They're
the
going to tear
sport
up your
awesome.
contract and give that money to somebody else who does it.
That's right. That's why I don't know if I'll ever be in favor of like total guarantees in the contract because I think it's what keeps this sport great. At the end of the year, for teams that maybe have nothing to play for, the players are playing for something. So it's a fine line, and of course, I want to see players get all their money they can. But I do think it's an advantage that the NFL has over some of the other sports in our country with the way it's set up there. That keeps people motivated. It is. It's a year-to-year business. The really awesome players, it's every 2 to 3 year business. But most of the league is on 1 year contracts, just trying to survive. Basically, the superstars are on what Mike is saying, 2 or 3 year contracts, and then after that, it's okay. Fight for your life for the next one. And you're right. The language of the contract is so important. And as you said, right, how many times have we looked at a guarantee and then gone, yeah, but the next year they got another chunk where they have to guarantee it like on the 5th day of the league year. So they're not going to cut the guy after 1 year, $100 million. That'll be the dumbest thing ever. So that is practically guaranteed. Structure of the contract is very important, and that's where the agent is very handy in that department.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.